the USC offensive coordinator, the former Texas Tech head coach. For those who didn't see you play quarterback in college, Kliff, who would you say you sort of tried to emulate?
I was a huge Joe Montana fan growing up, and I wasn't anywhere near Joe Montana, but the way he played the game, how smooth he was in the pocket, kind of his body control, that's somebody I always tried to emulate, and failed miserably at being as good as him, but that was my all-time guy.
Did you meet him?
I've never met him. That's on the bucket list, so hopefully I'll get to do that one day.
Would you ask for an autograph or a picture?
I'd go picture. Yeah, I'd go picture.
Now, I also saw where you were nervous to meet Mike Tyson, another one of your guys that you sort of idolized or admired. We just had him on last week, and he's still kind of intimidating. What did you think when you first met Tyson?
Yeah, I mean, he was like the nicest dude ever, but when he walks in, I mean, you've seen him, he's huge. I mean, he's a big man, big head, arms, traps, and so the more cocktails we had at this racing event, the more it seemed like a good idea to go say hi and get a picture. But a great dude, very friendly, and was very accommodating.
When did you become a boxing fan?
Really just watching him growing up. Obviously, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, one of the all-time great video games, and got into it. And we'd have, watching parties on pay-per-view, paid a ton of money to watch it back in high school.
Did you get a Super Bowl ring when you were with the Patriots?
I did.
Oh, you did?
I did. In 2003, yeah, I was on injured reserve, but I was there and got to watch Brady do his deal. It was awesome.
But did you know at the time how great Brady could be?
I'd never seen anything like it. You get there as a rookie, and I remember thinking to myself, like, I don't know if I could ever be close to as good as this guy, no matter what happens. When you get to watch him on a daily basis, the work he puts in, just how in command he is of every aspect of his training and mental approach, it's insane. And so you could sense there was greatness, the longevity. I don't know if anybody could have anticipated that, but you could tell on a daily basis that he wanted to be the best ever.
How often do you wear your Super Bowl ring?
When I was the head coach, it'd be sitting prominently on the desk when we had recruits in. That was about it. It's pretty gaudy. So I don't break it out too much.
Give me a Tom Brady story.
Oh, goodness. The most recent one was at a wedding at Baker's Bay, which is phenomenal, kind of a golf resort in the Bahamas. And we're all there. One of our friends is getting married, and it's like Friday night. Everybody had a long night. Wedding's on Saturday. I wake up. I'm checking out the island, struggling just to get out of bed. Take a golf cart around. I see this cat, like, by himself in this field. And I'm like, what is going on over there? I pull up, and it's Saturday morning in, like, May, and Brady is out there with his assistant doing resistant band drops and sprint and throwing. This is no kidding. In this, like, magical resort post-long night of, the pre-wedding party, and getting his work in and throwing the football and doing all these drops, and it was just insane. And this is year whatever, 18 for him. It still has that type of discipline and work ethic.
That's cool. Kliff Kingsbury, the USC offensive coordinator, former Texas Tech head coach, joining us. What happened at Texas Tech? Why did you lose your job?
I think that's a great question. I think I'm still reflecting on that. But, had an incredible run. Kirby Hocutt gave me 6 years to try and, get us to that next level, and felt like, we had made strides but didn't quite get where we needed to get. And so as I kind of reflect the next few months, I'm going to try to figure that out. And when I get another opportunity, try to do a little bit better job than we did this last time.
Why take the job at USC, and why take it now?
I think when you see the opportunity here, it's such a storied program, storied tradition. Coach Helton is a phenomenal man, treats players and coaches really, really well. And just, they're a 5-7 team that I think the sky's the limit. And I think with the talent on this team, sometimes when you have a season like that, you can refocus and use it as motivation. And I feel like it's kind of the perfect storm to get out here and do what we do offensively and try to help Coach Helton and this university get back to where we all want it to be.
How close were you to joining the Rams?
Close. I really have a ton of respect for Coach McVay and what he's done. Great dude who treats people the right way, innovative on offense, high energy. Would have loved to see, on a daily basis how he does things, and would have tried to contribute any way I can. But just felt like this was the right spot for me at the right time.
Yeah, I just wondered, though, because it feels like your name is still out there. You're still a hot property, even though you lost your job, but for the NFL. So that's why I didn't know the timing-wise of, you looked at the Rams and then decided to take the USC job, and I was wondering about the pro possibilities and how you sort of factored that into your decision.
Yeah, I think, that's something that as I go on in my coaching career, definitely have always I played in that league. I've been fascinated about that league and how offenses are evolving. You're seeing more college-type things going on, but this opportunity was just too great to pass up with the talent we have here. Great, city to live in and work, and so was happy to join Coach Helton.
So you had Johnny Manziel for a year at A&M. You had Mahomes. How many years did you have, Patrick?
I had him for 3.
Okay. And
I wish if I would have had him for 4, I'd still have my job at Texas Tech.
And then Baker Mayfield came through as well, but he was injured and then transferred to Oklahoma.
Right.
Okay. But the most natural talented out of those 3, Mahomes, Manziel, and Baker.
All 3 had ridiculous traits, I guess you would. Like Johnny's playmaking ability, his quick twitch, making people miss. His kind of sense of spatial awareness was insane. Baker, phenomenal, accurate, big-time arm, cerebral cat who, if, he could just diagnose a defense as good as anybody. And then Pat, the ability to throw from those different angles and arm dexterity and move in different platforms and see the entire field. So I was just very fortunate to work with all 3, and each one had things that they did that are as good as anybody's ever done in the history of football, really.
Ever seen a better arm than Mahomes?
I have not. Not with the touch you throw in there. There may be guys that can throw it. I think he can throw it 85 yards probably, but not with the touch, the different angles, the accuracy. Wherever his feet are pointing, it doesn't matter. He can get it anywhere. So just a natural arm talent, throwing ability, and that was from day one when I got around him. He could always throw it from any angle, be accurate, and have great touch, which is so rare.
I would watch Texas Tech just because of Mahomes, and then I would come in on Monday and tell my guys, I said, I don't know if this guy can play in the NFL, but it feels like he's just sort of having fun directing, the offense, and you gave him a lot of freedom. I don't think it was that, or was it?
Yeah, I think we just, when you have one like that, there's a fine line of pulling those reins, and we tried to give him stuff. He had a great high school coach there in White House, Texas, and ran a similar offense where they gave him a lot of freedom to check things at the line and see leverage and just be him. And so we kind of kept that rolling and worked on a few things. But when you have one like that that's that talented, you just don't want to screw him up, kind of get out of their way and let him go. And you see, I think, Coach Reed giving him a lot of those same freedoms.
Yeah.
What's amazing about Pat is with his style of play, how few turnovers he really has, because he's high-risk throws consistently on the move, doing things that traditionally you're told not to do, and he continues to make it work. What
do you see in your new quarterback, JT Daniels, at USC?
Haven't, studied a ton of them, but very cerebral young man. The fact that last year should have been his senior year in high school and he was playing in the Pac-12 and starting at USC says enough about the kid. So I'm excited to get around him and the other quarterbacks and start installing our offense and see where we can take this thing.
I know that you get this all the time. It's not a bad thing to get that, your lookalike is Ryan Gosling. Do you think Gosling, that people come up and say they think he's Kliff Kingsbury?
No. Hopefully one day we'll get there. I mean, I had a wildly successful career if we ever flip that script.
But you got to invite him to a game, give him a headset, and then you walk around, and then they might go, oh, look at Gosling over there, and it'll be, he's going to be the one on the headset. So then
we may be able to make that happen out here. I don't think he was coming to Lubbock, Texas, but he may be able to get down the road here at the Coliseum.
Did you use your charm a little bit though when you recruited?
I don't know about charm, but if you happen to find out that one of the players' moms was a bigger fan than most, then you had to work the angles.
Wait, well, how do you work the angles here? So you walk into the living room.
Yeah, I mean, just say, hey, I can, see where your son gets his good looks from. That type deal. Just drop some one-liners on it to get it going.
Did it work though?
I mean, I lost my job out there, so not to the extent I probably needed it to.
I think it'll work in L.A. though, Kliff.
I
think so. Hey, congrats on the opportunity there. We look forward to seeing what you do with that offense. We appreciate your time.
Thanks so much, Dan. Y'all take care.
That's Kliff Kingsbury.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.